you have a conducive environment to start a business. Whether conducive or not, you have to try and pursue your passions. That's why today we are actually writing a different story. We're talking chalk business, and joining me is Leah Wari, who is the CEO of Wari Gypsum Limited, and she's in the chalk ecosystem. Leah,
yes.
Good to see you.
Thank you, and for having me here.
I mean, back in the day when you used to go to school, is that where the idea was born? Like you started asking yourself, okay, my teachers are always writing on the board. Where are they getting this? What is the inspiration of going into chalk business?
Okay, let me say the idea was not born when I was in school. I think it's more of a metamorphosis from businesses I've been doing, because prior to starting the chalk business, I was working on gypsum ceiling decorations. They are called cornice, the ones that go on the corners. So I used to do that. So some business hiccups came up such that I didn't, the prices we were looking at selling them at was, it came down, yeah? It wasn't a good business environment for us, so we looked at what else we can do with the material that we had. So that's how we actually bumped into making chalk. So it's kind of accidental.
Accidental, but beautiful things are born out of such moments. But maybe just to walk back. So you are into interior decor? Yes.
We were doing mostly cornice, which were, they normally go on the corners, and also medallions. I think most homes or most hotels, they're decorated with gypsum, so we used to make such products.
Okay.
Yeah, so the market, let's say it didn't really dip, but let's say a Chinese came into the space, so they got to do more production, so they had a good area to like lower the prices so that they can take the business. So for us who are doing it manually, you undergo a lot of losses when you do things manually. So I mean, it wasn't able to balance.
I mean, it's a good opportunity to understand the gypsum ecosystem and environment. Where do you source this product?
Okay, so the product, we normally get the product locally, but for the good gypsum, most people import. And importation comes through maybe someone who's in the country who's just doing the importation, and then you buy from them. Yeah, in my case, we were buying from actually the industrial area. So we used to buy them from an Amu Hindi. So the market is the one that pushed us towards the chalk production, let's say. But it's doing well.
And I know I'm really heading into the chalk business. This foundation, you're saying that we produce locally and also externally. Why is local production not meeting the demand, or is it a quality situation?
It's a quality situation, because the POP, which is plaster of Paris, that we have in the country, has not yet reached a grade where you would say quality is really good quality. So that's why we depend so much on importation. Yeah, but then there's always a chance for the locals to improve.
How so?
Yeah. Because this product is locally sourced, so we only have to just make major improvements on how well refined the product is. Because, for example, for chalk, you really need it to be white. So you get to find that the local production that is going on doesn't really produce a good white. It produces maybe more towards a brown, so you can't write on a board with a brown chalk. Yeah, so I think it's just refinement. But once they do that, the local product is good, and also the prices are better for it when you go local.
Definitely. So this has happened. You realize we can't make any more doing this interior design thing. We have to rethink. And this light bulb moment, you're like, wow, we can make chalk. I mean, that sounds accidental, but also not so accidental. Is chalk the only other option that is in such a situation when the initial business was not working?
I would say that chalk was not the only other option, because we would have chosen to just do medallions for decoration. But I think for me the switch came when I saw that it wouldn't be profitable for the near future, because then if the company also thought of doing medallions, then you would still be in the same situation where you would find that your product is not selling at the price where you can make a good profit. Yeah. So I think it's through the frustration just makes you think of and look for solutions that you can use, because at the end of the day you have to make money. At the end of the day you have to feed your family, so you get to look for something else that can that can bring whatever was coming in. Yeah.
Okay. Now chalk. You enter into chalk and you start writing this new story of yours on the blackboard. You do your research, or is it an industry that you have a little bit of understanding? Were you very green?
Okay. I was green, because this is something that is totally new. This is a totally new environment. It's not like the one you are used to. But having had the experience, you know, sometimes you get to hear of this is doing well, this one is not. So at the time when we entered into the market, it was a time when chalk was really in demand, and we hadn't really gotten into the whiteboard situation, so a lot of people were looking for chalk and there was none in the country. So I would say like that was a very good opportunity for us to just jump into production without knowing whether or not you're going to sell, but we knew that there was demand. So I would say demand made us go more into it. Like it gave us the push because we knew there was demand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So local production is not meeting the needs for chalk in Kenya as it stands?
Okay. So this is how the chalk situation is in the country. Yeah. So we import almost 98% of the chalk in the country. So once a teacher or a school wants to purchase, they normally go to the normal distributors around Kirinyaga Road. They go and buy chalk in bulk. Yeah. So like for a year's worth of chalk, that's where the normal situation for schools, that's where people will go to buy. Yeah. So most of it is imported.
Okay.
Local manufacturing, I would say, is around 2%. So for me to enter into the space, I knew that if I would produce a good quality product and discourage importations, which is really a hard thing, because you have to make sure that your quality is good enough for schools. So yeah, that's where we started from. We just made sure that our quality was good enough for schools to use. Yeah.
Okay.
And now like trying to tap and make ourselves known to the point that schools would come to us directly, say, Ila, I saw you making chalk. How is your production? Yeah. So schools come to us directly for purchase.
But going back to the quality discussion, is that the raw material, you find better raw material from outside. So are you forced to import now the raw and then make the final product here?
Yeah, given that our production, we do really high production. So we had, for the first time, we had like to get importations from outside. But right now, currently, we are working with local manufacturers who are improving on the product they already have. Okay. So yeah, we are we don't want to go too much on the outside market. So we are trying to promote local manufacturers and producers to also use their product. But when it's good quality.
When it's good quality.
Yeah.
Because now that means if you're able to produce locally, there's so much benefits to it. The raw material guy makes his money.
Yeah. And I would also want to say that at the point where we are as a company right now, we are looking for distributors. We really need people who are close to schools, a person who knows that I can buy product from Lea and then I can take it to the local schools. Such people, and it's not necessarily a large investment situation. The local guy who does not have a job and knows that I can buy this from here, sell it here, and make a good profit. Those are the people we are looking for.
Okay. Yeah. Competition, since now you're operating in an area that is dominated by imports.
Yeah.
There's normally sometimes the competitive advantage of low cost of production from outside. So products come here and you look at that margin and you calculate yours and you're like, I can't compete here. How are you handling that? How is it?
Okay, granted that we are working with local manufacturers right now, at least we would say the margins we have are good, since we are able to also create an opportunity for also people who are coming in to buy and resell. They also make their own margins. So you have to really make good calculations when it comes to how your production is like. But competition, the people we are competing with against right now are the outside products which are coming into the country. That is just a matter of making ourselves known so that even the local people who need chalk don't depend mostly on the outside market and buy from us.
Do you think as a local manufacturer, because there's always that issue of preferential treatment.
Yes.
For if you're making something at home, of course there's that room. If the local production cannot meet local demand, then we have to open up. But do you think where you are, there is something that can be done to sort of improve the chalk industry from a policy perspective?
Yes, I really think the education sector, especially for ECDs and primary schools, because most high schools now are moving towards whiteboards, yeah? So, but for the ECDs, which are many, there are very many ECDs in the country and the primary schools. So I think on policy, I think most private schools, those ones look to us and buy from us, yeah. But the public schools, which are the majority, we would like to have a policy whereby a local manufacturer can be able to supply to schools, yeah, without having to have this middleman here who also wants to make something. So I think the government can look into purchasing directly for ECDs and primary schools. And these are the type of policies we would like improved. Yeah.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah. And lastly, in closing, I know there are visions. I don't know for you as Wari and your Chaki brand, what is the goal? Where are we heading? How can we hold you accountable?
Oof. Okay, so for the future, we are looking into schools will always be there. Students will always want to learn, and not everyone will be able to afford a whiteboard, okay? So we are looking into Kenya moving forward to reach a lot of places, because we are still, I would say we are still local, but we also get requests from other countries like Uganda and Tanzania. So maybe growing slow growth and looking towards meeting all the demands that we are having. So yeah. That is the future for us.
That's amazing. Yeah. All the best in that endeavor. I know one of these fine days in future we'll discuss how we had this interview, when we're still growing and now we are big across Africa. But thank you very much, Leah. Thank you for making time. Leah Wari is the CEO of Wari Gypsum Limited, and she makes chalk. The brand name is Chaki, and she says that there is actually huge demand, local huge demand, that is being catered by imports. How about we start growing our local capacity to manufacture this and cater to this demand? And that's what she's doing. She projects that she's not only going to service Kenya, but across Africa and the world. That is the goal. And that's where Business Today takes full stop, as I can put it. That's where we put a full stop on this show. Thank you very much for joining with us over the past 1 hour. My name is Noki Kimboy. Up next, you have me, Katian. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of your viewing.